Good morning, it's CJ, the XER nurse, and I just have some fucking things to say. So I'm sitting here in the parking lot of a grocery store, just waiting for my next job to pop up. And I'm thinking about all the people, the millions of fucking people that are going to lose their jobs in the next few weeks, or have to submit to this fuckery of, weekly testing, etc. It's all such fucking bullshit. But anyway, I'm wondering why no one is really discussing the fact that a lot of people have natural protection. I'm going to be super careful with my words this little bit because I get videos taken down from YouTube due to breaking the community guidelines, etc., and the misinformation, spreading misinformation and stuff. So I'm going to be real careful with my words. So if I seem a little weird, that's why. I mean, I might just seem a little weird anyway, because I am, but you know what I mean. I don't know why we're discrediting the fact that people that have had the sickness have lasting natural protection from it. And why that isn't being taken into account with this forcing of the rolling up of the sleeves. I had the sick, okay? I had the sick last Christmas. I worked in the ER through the fucking pandemic with very little PPE supplies and all that shit, using the same mask over and over and over again for a week, 2 weeks at a time. I was in it with no chance of getting a thing to protect me. That wasn't an option. It wasn't a thing that was available. So all of us nurses and doctors and techs and EMTs and medics and RTs and etc. Worked in the thick of it with literally no protection. And then I had to quarantine a couple times here and there for some exposures, like pretty serious exposures, and never got it. Finally, at the end of 2020, myself and another nurse were in like the worst room in the ER that you could be in, like no ventilation. It was small and terrible, with an uncooperative patient who would not, who was just being gross and awful. And then who tested positive for COVID, relatively soon after my interaction with that person. And then myself and that other nurse got sick within like 5 or 6 days. So I had the sick, and I was really fucking ill, okay? I started with a fever and glassy eyes, dry cough, just really felt terrible. Knew I had it, but didn't want to admit it. So I, called out the next day, was told I had to get tested. So of course I went and got tested, and I was positive. I then was sick for 10 days easily. I had a fever at least 10 days, was very, very ill. I should have gone to the hospital. My SATs were like 89, 90, resting, dropping even further than that with any kind of exertion, like walking from couch 10 feet to bathroom. My SATs were dropping into the mid 80s. I definitely should have gone to the hospital, but I was so afraid to go because I had seen what happened when people went to the fucking hospital. It didn't really turn out too well for most of them. So I stayed home. I toughed it out. My wife also came down with the sick and had it differently than I did. She was sick like through the weekend, felt crabby, really bad body aches, some GI stuff, but she recovered more quickly than I did. I was literally out of work for like more than 3 weeks. I just couldn't get over it. I was in a bad way. But I made it. I fucking made it, okay? And now I have lasting protection based on all of the science. Don't come at me that I'm just making this shit up. Look it all up yourself, all right? There are multiple studies done. United States, Israel, the Cleveland Clinic, everywhere has done studies on people that were sick and have lasting protection. So why did I have to be coerced into rolling up my sleeve or bullied and shamed into weekly testing to keep my job when I am literally at no risk of getting or giving the thing? Y'all who are rolled up your sleeves are at higher risk of getting and giving the thing than I am. So all y'all coming at me in the comments on the various social media sites about how, I'm an anti-vaxxer, I don't believe in science, the medical profession is better off without me, fuck off. Fuck all y'all. I had the thing that you're so worried about getting. It sucked, but I lived through it. Now, I could tell you some fucking horror stories about people who did not live through rolling up their sleeves. Okay? I can't even begin to tell you the fucking horror stories that I have seen with my own eyeballs, and the anecdotal stories that I have of people that I personally know and people that my wife personally knows who just coincidentally rolled up their sleeve for the second time a couple days ago and then dropped dead in front of their children whilst cooking dinner related to bilateral PEs. Okay? So I'm really just in a fucking way this morning. I don't want to hear any shit about that I'm stupid, I should be ashamed, I made a dumb choice, what kind of nurse am I? Fuck you. Fuck you. This isn't about any of that. This is about the reality that we are being played so hard and you don't even see it. You don't even see it. But I'll be here laughing when you finally do see it and you come around and you're like, oh, maybe this wasn't such a great idea. So I'll still be here for it, God willing. Now I'm going to get back to work. Just want you to know, for all y'all that are going to lose your job, that you're willing to lose your job to stand up for your principles, I have your back and millions of other people have your back. And we will all stand together and support each other, because that's what good fucking people do. We stand together, we fucking support each other through really fucking hard times. I'm here for it, and I'm here for you. Take good care.